What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without faint. Where we encourage us to live our life and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth. Because no condition is permanent. And like the sun, we will shine again. That's why we need knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest. Knowledge can solve any problem, all problem. But God cannot, Jesus cannot, angels cannot, Allah cannot, Jehovah cannot, Yahweh cannot, Mary cannot, apostles cannot, prayers cannot, faith cannot, belief cannot. It is knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest. That is the knowledge of factual truth, and every truth must be based on fact. Any truth that does not base on fact is not permanent. So I titled this Break God's Commandments. Yes, I'm encouraging us, I'm charging us as a people, Africans, black people, wherever you are. It is time we wake up and rise up to break every commandment of God that our oppressors, those that hated us, invaded us, raped us, killed us, kidnapped us, enslaved us, and colonized us, and we still in that bondage till date. We are the one that will determine how long our slavery will last. We are the one that will determine whether it will continue or not. That's why we need the masses. We need the majority of us, because one person or few of us cannot destroy this evil system we are living in. And it's our enslavers that place us in that. It is not by nature, it is not anything that's supposed to be. No, it is act of wickedness, evil, done by evil people. And they are good people, because good people are evil and evil people are good. They all come from same source, and they are evil from within them and everywhere. So break God's commandments. Black people, we are waking up. I'm calling us to keep waking up so that we can rise up to fight against white supremacy. When you are worshiping that dead white man on the cross called Jesus, you are supporting white supremacy. When you are praying to God in heaven, you are supporting white supremacy. When you are worshiping the God of Israel, you are supporting white supremacy. When you are worshiping Allah, you are supporting white supremacy. I'm talking to my own people. I'm not talking to everyone in the world. I'm talking to my own people, black people. People are like that are like myself. People that are like me. We descended from the great ancient African ancestors that gave the world everything everyone is enjoying in the world today. And calling us to wake up, rise up, to fight against white supremacy so that we can recover our heritage, free ourselves and recover our heritage. We can never recover our heritage by reading ourselves into their literatures, schools. I see most of our people, instead of it to go to the root of the matter, they are nibbling it or trying to think from the leaves they can kill the tree. No, I hear like you hear some Igbo people saying that they don't want Igbo language to die. Yeah, they don't have any school in Igbo land where every course is taught with Igbo language. It's hard for you to see even parents speaking English with their children. I mean, speaking our language with their children anymore. They speak mostly English. Of course, that is what even I support that, because that's until we as a people wake up. You can, whatever you have to do to survive, go ahead and do it. So until we, majority of us, wake up, they do not support them, do not like encourage them. Still speak up, speak the truth you know with all boldness. It doesn't matter what it will cost you. There's nothing that can cost you that is more than your life. Nothing can cost you your life, because your life is eternal. So you hear them saying that, and also some of our people, not our people that say they are ordinary people now, they don't, belong to any religion anymore and all that. They're doing ordinary, but their children are going to school where Christianity or Islam is being taught. So they are doing that. That's why I see some of their children will grow up and say, no, that thing you are doing now is evil, because the Bible or the Quran has taught them against their own. So we have to do something. This is why we need to wake up. I want to see our people that are awakened in places of power, education, finance, taking the high places, so that from there we will begin to dismantle this evil system they put us in. That's what we are doing. I'm not calling you now, can pick up your weapon, let's go fight. You don't have weapon in the first place. If I'm calling you to go fight now, I'm mistaken, because there's no weapon for you to fight. No, it's when we wake up. So we are waking up, and we will rise to fight against white supremacy, free ourselves, and recover our heritage. It is our fight. We know God will fight it for us. No foreigners will fight it for us. We are the one that will fight it, establish as we're supposed to be as a people, and then we can relate with the outsiders as we're supposed to, not relating to them as people coming to help us, the people we are helping, because we have all they need. They don't have what we need. Our slave masters gave us the commandments of God to keep us docile and very passive, to keep us good slaves. The man that enslaved you, the man that killed your parents and enslave you, will never give you anything that will enhance your life. No. Everything they give you is to keep you under them. Whether you call it education, whether you call it politics, whether you call it religion, whether you call it spirituality, it is to keep you under. Those things make you not to resist, not to rebel, not to revolt, but to repent and be converted. It is time our people understand what is going on, unless we want our chains to remain permanent or to last as long as they want it. You are the one that wears the shoe. You know where it's pinching you. Stop pretending in prayers. Stop pretending by faith. Stop pretending in your religious activities. It hurts. It's hurting you, but you are pretending. You are living by faith, suffering and smiling. It is time you wake up, my people, and begin to dismantle white supremacy in our land, in our villages, in our communities, in our families. This religion called Abrahamic religion has destroyed our African family structure. And today we are divided as a people, inside, outside. In our families, we are divided, and outside our families, we are divided. And you think a divided people can build anything for themselves? No way. We have changed from the ways of our ancestors that say, come, let us build. Is today, come, let us worship. Come, let us believe. Come, let us preach. No, it's supposed to be, come, let us build. Without worshiping, without believing, using our knowledge, using our brain, using our hands, using our resources to build things for ourselves, to make names for ourselves. You have to break these commandments of God. And that's what I'm calling you to do. It is mortals that created the immortal God. There's no immortal God that created you mortal. You are not mortal. You are more than mortal. You are more than even the immortal himself. Understand the game they played on us. And that's when you notice they will begin to call you, and they will say you are blaspheming. They will say you are disrespecting your parents or your elders or your leaders. That's bullshit. It doesn't matter who is involved. If it's not helping us, we need to demolish it, not reform it, not maintaining it. We need to demolish it and begin again as we're supposed to as a people. We must break the commandments of God they force on us through their literatures. The history you are bragging today to know is the history they wrote for us, not our history. And all that history started from slavery because they don't know our true history before slavery. They only knew after they destroy us. That's where they began and begin to write nonsense, calling themselves great and calling us demonic, evil, that needs salvation, needs deliverance. And it's our people jumping around today saying, yeah, Jesus is Lord, God in Jesus' name. Bullshit. You must destroy them. Slaves obey. Anyone that tell you obey is saying you are slave. Slaves obey, but free men knows. Free men don't obey. They do what they know. Even if it's against the law of God, they do what they know. That's what free men do. I'm not telling you to go and begin to break the law of your land. No, people make their laws. So if the people of your land say this is their law, okay, then you can use your own sense and your own might to show them this thing you're saying is not working for us. This is what is working for us. That's why you see, like in America, they amend their laws, they amend their constitutions. Most black people, they don't believe in amendment. They say, what my forefathers did, it's not me that will do it. It become an abomination. Your forefathers were slaves, and now you still see it's okay for you to be slaves because you don't want to amend that. So slaves obey, but free men knows. It is the truth that you know that will set you free. Not the law you obey. Not the commandment you obey. It is the truth you know that will make you free. The commandments is for slaves, not for the free men. Free men don't live by the commandments of God. Every commandment of God is for slaves. That's why they made that God spirit. That's invisible. That's unknown. And you see people today living in that fear of the unknown. So let me ask this question. What is the first commandment of God according to their literature? What is the first commandment of their God? What is the first commandment of that Yahweh, Jehovah or Allah? What is the first commandment of that God? Many of you will jump into the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments said, you shall have no other God beside me. That is not the first commandment of their God, if you read their book very well. And that's what I will show you. That is the first commandment we must break. If you can break that commandment, now the rest will be easier for you to break it because you'll be free. That is what glue the bondage, what cement it, what keep it together. This first commandment is what keep you in bondage. Bondage of fear of God, bondage of fear of the unknown, bondage of death. Fear of death. Let's see. Genesis. Welcome to Bible study. Genesis chapter 2. The first commandment of God you must break is very important. This first commandment, if you can break it, you will break all. And if you keep this first commandment, you see, you'll be living in bondage for the rest of them. All of them, you must be trying to do it. And they tell you that if you fail in one, you fail all. So you always go back to start again. Living in ignorance, living in fear, and fighting for it. Genesis chapter 2, 15 and 16. He said, then the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to tend and keep it like his robot. Okay. And the Lord God commanded the man. Remember, in chapter 1, they say that this God already created this man in his own image after his likeness. Does God live by any command or any law? According to this place, yes. If he give them command, maybe his father also gave him command. So he's giving his man command. The Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge, the first commandment of God is against knowledge. His commandment for you to be ignorant, live ignorant, die ignorant. They don't want you to know, because knowledge will set you free from God. Oh, how did I put it? I said that you see, if those that know God, you know, those that know God, they will not worship God, they will not believe in God because they know. But those that don't know God are the one that will believe and worship that God because they don't know. They obey God because they don't know. But when you know you will not obey God, you break his commandment because you know that God is non-existent and useless. In reality, he cannot do anything to you and they cannot do anything for you. He said, of every tree of the garden you may eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. What is the punishment for breaking this commandment of God? Death. This is why you see religious people living in fear of death. I don't want to die, therefore let me obey the commandment. I don't want to die, let me obey God. I don't want to die, without knowing that you cannot die. God already made you in his own image and likeness. Can God die? You say no. Oh, you say no, oh, no. The death God is saying there is spiritual death. That means God can also die spiritual death. Is that what you're saying? No. He already made them in his own image and likeness. And if God does not die, God cannot die, then they cannot die. You understand that this is creation theory. It's a fairy tale they made up. God never existed and God never created anything. But reading their literature, you can understand that there are a lot of flaws in there. If God already created them, created the man in his own image after his likeness, so God cannot die, man cannot die, but he threatened them. That's what the commandment does. That's why love is evil, because love comes with the law, with law. Remember in John chapter 13, I think 34 and 35, Jesus said, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you. It's a commandment, and if you don't love one another as he loved you, you'll be punished, you will perish. That's what love does. Love is evil. No matter how you try to define it or try to say, no, love is this, love is no, love is evil. It comes with commandment, it comes with law. Everything that comes with law is evil. It is you that saying law of nature. Nature has no law. Nature did not give you any law. You were born to live, period. Not to serve, not to sacrifice, just to live your life humanly. You say, the day you eat of this tree, if you disobey my commandment, you will surely die. But you know, God is a liar. Because when you read Genesis chapter 3, 1 to 11, the day they ate it, they did not die. Rather, their eyes opened, because it is called the tree of knowledge. Knowledge can never blind you. Knowledge will open your eyes, show you where you are vulnerable, where you are weakness, show you the secret so that you will know what to do. And that's why they know what to do. They say when they hear the sound of the presence of God in the garden, they hid themselves. I don't deal with this idiot. I don't deal with this stupid idiot that made me naked. He can't clothe me. He created me naked. And you say he's wise. You say he's powerful. He can't even reason well to clothe me. But you want me to obey his commandment. Say any day I eat it, I will die. I did not die, so let me stay clear from him. That's what you're supposed to do. Trust God. Trust belief. Trust faith. Trust religious nonsense. Trust all of them. That is the first commandment of God. Every religion have it. The day you eat the tree of the tree of knowledge, you have broken the law of God. And they say you will die. You will not die because knowledge is supreme. Knowledge is greater than God. God is a product of ignorance. That's the first commandment of God. Of every tree you eat, but don't eat from the tree of knowledge. That is the commandment of God. Many of you still worshiping. The God that forbade you or forbid you from eating knowledge, from having knowledge. I want you to be ignorant, walking around, vulnerable. Anything can happen to you. He can watch over you. Serpent can come and talk to you. Lion can come and talk to you. Anything can happen to you. He's not coming even to save you. Then he will come and punish you for knowing. That's why he punished them. And yet we say that God said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Oh, that's his people, not my people, not me. My people are not destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because we are born to know, and we know. We only destroy by the wicked people. We call our slave masters who gave us these literatures, telling us there is God that cares about us, when that God never cared about our slavery or enslavement and the suffering. That is the commandment of God. First commandment of God. You shall not know the truth. That's the first commandment of God, according to the book. That's why in John chapter 8, verse 32, what did Jesus say there, according to the Bible? He did not say you shall know God, or you shall know Jesus, or you shall know the Holy Spirit, or you shall know heaven. No, he said you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And they copy it from our African text. Because Jesus never existed. They just stole it. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It's just like telling you know yourself. That's knowing the truth. When you know yourself, you know the truth. When you don't know yourself, believing in God, you don't know the truth. That's why religious people, they keep learning, but they can never understand. They can never come to the knowledge of truth. Because they are believers. They don't know themselves. They see themselves as sheep of God, sheep of Christ. So they are animals. They don't know themselves. It's humans that know themselves. They don't. If you obey the first commandment, you will become subject to the rest. And that will keep increasing your pain, increasing your suffering, because you are living in ignorance and fear. And you are hating and fighting anyone that is coming to deliver you from there. Say, come on, leave me here. From here, they promise me I'm going to heaven. Leave me, leave me, leave me. It's better I die here than to deny God. It's better I die here than to break the commandment of God. You keep yourself. You find yourself in a pit. Instead of you to jump out of the pit, with the shovel in your hand, you keep digging. You want to dig your way out of the pit? No, the more you dig, the deeper it gets. And when time comes, you will die there. That's why I encourage you, do not die ignorant. Use me as an example. If you still have fear of God, or fear of wrath of God, or fear of losing heaven, look at me. I used to be a Christian. I used to be a minister of gospel. God lost me because God does not exist. He has no power to hold anyone. You can claim to be in sheep all you want. No way. Where the wolf comes, he run away. That's why all the ministers, they are wolves, eating you raw. He cannot show up and do anything. The second commandment of God, then you can bring in the 10 commandments, and there are other commandments of God in the Bible. But this 11 is what I want to share. Number 1 is you shall not know the truth. And that is the first commandment of God. You shall not know the truth. The second commandment of God is you shall have no God or no other God before me. That's nonsense. There were gods that existed before this God you call Yahweh. But he became jealous. And jealous is a sin, right? He says evil. But God is a jealous God. a narcissist. He wants all glory to himself. He wants you to praise him. He created you and demand you praise him. Imagine that stupid God. But to show you that how silly, to show you how silly that God is, say you shall have no other God beside me. Yet you see people that believe in this God say there is one God. How can you say there is one God when that God itself said that you shall have no other God before me? In other words, there have been God. There are other gods, but he said you shall have only him because you believe in him. If you go to any religion, their God is dedicated, they are dedicated to their God. So their God is their God. Their God don't work for other people in the other religion. So that's how it is. It's your God. You say your God is one. That's your business. But but the fact is this: there are many gods because people create gods in their own image and likeness everywhere. It's a pity that only black man or black people that have chosen to worship white God over themselves. Why you shall have no other God before me? You see people that believe in this God that are condemning other people that are believing in other gods or other things. You're calling other people's occultic, ritualists. They have sold their souls to their God or to idols. It's the same thing you did in your own God. In fact, the people that sold their souls to idols are better than you because they can see the idols they worship. But the God you worship, you cannot see because it was given to you by your slave masters to keep you good slaves. It's better to worship a tree, the sun, or things you can see. It's better to worship even this than to worship God you cannot see. You need to wake up, my people. You see, people are killing people to make money. Is it not the same thing you are doing? Are you not giving in your church to make money? Are you not, after you give, you say, God bless me, give me abundance, you pay tithe for God to bless you financially? What is that? It's the same thing. And you say your God killing his own son for you. You are a ritualist. If you're a believer, you shall have no other God before me. Bullshit. You must break that commandment and begin to see yourself above God. Put yourself before God. You are the God greater than God. Because you are the living God. That God is invisible God. It does not exist. You are the living God. Living God should be above the invisible God. The third commandment of God you must break is, he said, you shall make no idols. You shall not make idols. Why not? So having the pictures of my parents is idol worship now. Because that's what that's what our ancestors were doing. Paying homage to their parents. They knew. They made their statues. They made their pictures. But they say you shall make no idols. Yet they make the pictures of Jesus. Jesus that never existed. They made the pictures of Mary and the statues of Mary. Mary that never existed. And they gave you white Jesus, white Mary, white God. You Africans, you black people, you still worshiping it. That shows you are still a slave. You are black. Your God is white and your Satan is your God is white and your Satan is black. You are stupid. And you get offended when people call you stupid. No, your worship say you are stupid. Your belief say you are stupid. Your faith say you are stupid. You are the one that's supposed to wake up and stop getting upset. Say thou shalt have to worship no idol. What is how is idol defined even in their book? Psalm 115 verse 4 to 8. He said idols have mouth, they can't speak, they have eyes, they don't see, they have nose, they don't smell, they have ears, they don't hear, they have hands, they don't handle, they have legs, they don't walk. Is it not the same thing with this invisible God, useless God you worship? Have you seen this God spoken anytime you gather? No, it is somebody standing there telling you God has spoken through them, or God speaking through them. Some of them start to speak nonsense. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And they say it's God speaking. No, a God that cannot speak for himself is worse than an idol. Because idol, you can see idol, you see their mouth, you carve them. But this invisible God, you say is almighty, that cannot speak for himself, is worse than an idol. Idol is better than that God. It's better to have idols than to have invisible God. Because if that idol is made of wood, any day there's no wood, wood scarcity, you can use that wood to cook. Or you made it out of gold or silver, you can sell them and make money. But the invisible God is useless, totally useless to you. The fourth commandment, you shall not bear the name of the Lord your God in vain. That's nonsense. Now you are hallowing his name. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Fuck that. Your name is supposed to be hallowed, not God's name. Have you seen the God you are hallowing his name? Say you shall not use the name of the Lord your God in vain. Then you can use the name of your ancestors in vain. You can use your own name in vain, but not the name of God you have not seen. You must break this commandment, my people. Begin to value your name. See us. What is my middle name? I call it my English name, Shadrach. It's our slave name, this name they gave to us. English name. How many English people, how many white people you see bearing African name as part of their name? You worshiping their white God, their white Jesus. Have you seen any white family dress their children up, and take them to a church where they tell them their God is black, their Savior is black? They will never attend it. No matter how they say they like black people, oh, we all are one human race. They are liars. They are deceiving you. Let them start by answering your names as you are answering their own names. Let them start by worshiping black God, black Jesus, as you are worshiping their white God and white Jesus. Say, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Fuck that God. My name is greater than the name of that God. When you mention my name, my daughter, respect it. But mention God, I don't respect that. At work, one guy did something, he said, oh, shit, God bless you. I said, fuck God. So don't say that. I said, say it again, who is here. He never repeated it. If you say thank God, fuck God. Thank God, trust God. What God are you talking about? What God? Are you God? You get upset. Are you God? He said, that's your religion. Fuck you, you're a black person. It's not your religion. Christianity is not a religion. Islam is not your religion. He says it's your choice. It's not. It was forced on you. Stop being stupid, my people. It's time we wake up and break our chains. Wake our people up. Be serious with it. The fifth commandment, he said, keep the Sabbath day holy. Fuck that. There's no day that is more holier or that is holy and the others are not. Every day you're supposed to live. That's what we have destroyed. Even our people, let me say our tribe, the Igbo tribe, we have 4 market days that make a week. Why can't we continue holding it? Why we are working with their own 7 days too? But our own 4 market days is what we use in our school, in everything, in our own calendar. Learn it from China. Chinese people, they have their own calendar. Where is our own calendar? We don't. And the people that made it, we don't follow them because they are talking ordinary. They are not talking about politics. They are not talking about, how to make money, all that. That's what you are looking for. Fuck that. You can't come to around me and say you're talking about making money. Make what? Nonsense. Make what money? You making money to enjoy your slavery. That's what you want me to be. No. I'm not trying to make any money. Let me die. I work to maintain myself. They're telling me make money to make names so you can go and build this. Your name. That's nonsense. We are slaves. We need to wake up. I know if I don't know myself, I will be struggling and hustling like you. I don't do that anymore. I used to work 2 jobs. I just quit one. I know I'm doing one now. Unless you agree to pay me what I want. If not, I quit. I live my life. He said, keep the Sabbath day holy. Fuck that. What Sabbath day? Say it's a day of rest. No, every day is a day of rest. You're supposed to work, enjoy, and rest every day. That's how it's supposed to be. You have morning, afternoon, evening, and night. That's what 4 market days, that's 4 days supposed to make 1 week. But it's our ancestors also that even the 7th day of the week, our ancestors, to show you that when it comes to Africans, they don't say, no, this is what everybody must do. You have 4 days, others have 7 days. But telling me now there's one day that's supposed to be day of rest. And I say, why? He said, because God created you and rested on the 7th day. Can't you see that God is stupid? That God is not almighty as you think. A God that gets exhausted and have to rest. And he said, that's your God. I want me to believe that God or to worship that God. Fuck you and fuck that God. Say, keep the Sabbath day holy. And you see some people still struggling. It is a Roman Catholic people that change the Sabbath day to Sunday. It's bullshit. Whether it's Sabbath day, whether it's Sunday, it's bullshit. Every day is your day. Every day is your day. No day is holy. No day is corrupt. It is religion that brings this evil. Spirituality brings this evil. Sunday is holy. You will not go to stream. You will not go do that. The 6th commandment, he said, honor your father and mother. Fuck that. Many of us are living in bondage because we are honoring our father and mother who put us in that bondage. It sounds good to you, honor your father. You don't need anyone to tell you honor your father and mother. If your father and mother take care of them, you also take care of it's natural thing. It's like telling a mother to take care of her child. You are stupid telling her, unless she's not the mother. Maybe she picked that child from, but if she born that child for 9 months and bring forth that child, deliver that child, you telling her, unless she's mentally ill, just as religion has turned many mothers today. They are mentally ill. They are married to God and Jesus. They don't even care about their family, their children. Say, honor your father and mother. Fuck that. And he tell you, he said, that's children of slaves. Honor your father and mother, that he may be well. He said that's the first commandment with the promise that he may live long. He may live be well. That's nonsense. So if my father and mother are so religious, they don't care about themselves, care about heaven and not now, you want me to honor them for what? He said they are still your parents. That's bullshit. But having a child doesn't mean, okay, now they must worship you. If you want your children to honor you, honor your children. If you want them to respect you, respect them. It's in Africa, you see many people, many children living in slaves, in chains, in slavery. Not some children in America are already waking up. So when they find out their parents did wrong to them, they say it straight to them. You see, yes, I hate you. I used to be upset about until I begin to understand why. Especially one lady, really challenged. When I was still a Christian, I made a post telling people, how you love your mother when I still doing all that. She said, I don't love my mother. My mother is the worst mother in the whole world. She was right, but many people condemn her because they will condemn you when you state the fact. So what do you mean? Like I made a post also, your parents lied to you. You do know what somebody commented there? You say, yeah, but it was not their fault. Did I say that? Did I say it's their fault? They lied to you, they lied to you. Then you should continue. They lied to you. Don't worry about that. So many years ago, when I was still a Christian, I said, no, my parents stopped going to church. Why are you going there? You are giving them your money. I used to be a pastor too. They say, honor your father, children, obey your parents. Children, not adults, children. Honor your father and mother in the Lord, that he may be well with you, and you will live long in the land. That's nonsense. You live long in the chain. You live long in that chain, in that slavery, because they are your parents. We must break these commandments of God. My people, wake up. The commandments of God is for slaves, not for free people. You can never build anything obeying God. You can never build nuclear weapon obeying God. You can never fight for your freedom obeying God, because God is slavery. Everything about God, the concept of God, the worship of God, activities of God, all of them are meant for you to be a good slave, product of slavery. Number 7, you shall not murder. Oh, yeah. How many of you still believe that nonsense? You shall not murder. They murdered your ancestors and tell you shall not murder. Why not? You shall not murder. Why not? So if you kill somebody, my family member, I should let you go, forgive you, and let God do shit? No. You murder somebody, I murder you. You're coming to murder me, I murder you. We must break these commandments. Thou shalt not murder. Murderers telling you you shall not murder because they don't like competition. You must break these commandments, my people. Remember, I'm talking to us as a people. We must murder those that murdered our ancestors so that we can recover our heritage, so that we can restore our glory. You don't have any glory if you're forgiving those that murdered your parents. There's no glory around you. There's no glory about you because you are stupid. They know you are stupid because they know the day they know you are not stupid is the day you will rise up and say, "No, you murdered my parents. I must murder you." Then you go into war, prepared and fight them until you win. Then number 8 commandment of God, he said, "You shall not, you shall not." You shall not what is that you shall not commit adultery. That's bullshit. What is adultery? As a Christian, this is how we used to define it. Adultery is sex for fornication between a married man and a married woman. So what is fornication? It is sex between people that are not married. That's nonsense. What is adultery? He said, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." What do you mean adultery? That's nonsense. They established true marriage. Marriage is slavery. So if I see somebody that I'm supposed to have sex with, marriage forbid me from having sex with that person. And that person want it, I want it. Both of us we agree. But now it's somebody's wife, it's somebody's husband. You cannot do that. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Why they rape our own? They rape our mothers. They rape our sisters. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Ndara. Yeah, you want to say, what do you mean adultery? But remember, dear Jesus said that adultery is when you lust after somebody in your heart. And is that adultery is only for men. When you lust after a woman, he didn't say when a woman lust after a man. Because it's always for men. It's men's primacy over women. He never say if a woman lust after a man in her heart. No. He said if you lust after a woman in your heart, is talking to men, not women. And it's not lost. When you see a woman, you have that sexual urge. It's not anything lost. It's natural. It's natural sexual urge. And if she agree, fuck. If she don't agree, go your way. That's it. All you need is an agreement. And sometimes to get that agreement does not take one day. You may take, you keep you keep going, you keep going until one day she opened the door. That is the door that leads to life. The door is narrow, but it is openable. It can be opened. Okay. Number 9 law, commandment of God we must break. He said, "You shall not steal." Oh, how many of you still against that? Against stealing? Stealing is not bad. It's not. Because they stole from us. They stole our land. You can still see what they stole from us in their museum. And they are the same people that give you a book telling you thou shalt not steal. But they know that's the only way you can get our things back. And that's why I get upset with our people that are running their mouth. None of us are that well educated enough now to know how to go and steal something from white people. We always steal from ourselves, but not from white people. And they have our things. Like when this issue of Mazen Nandekan, when our people are talking about this, I say, all those people like in IPOB, they say they have certain power or something like that. Why can't they go and smuggle that guy out? You remember that drug cartel from Mexico, right? They shipped, many times they say they arrested him. His gang, they will go, so they dig even underground to rescue him. But our people will always run mad because we get education. We think speaking grammar qualify you to get anything. When you speak grammar, the UN and the UK, they will consider you and say, okay, let us. No. No. Learn how to steal. We must learn how to steal back what they stole from us. We must do that. You say it's a must. We must break this law that says you shall not steal. We must steal. We must steal. You shall steal. The 10th law is a commandment of God. It says, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Read it with your common sense. It did not say you shall not bear false witness against your brothers and sisters. It's against your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? The white man, the slave master that is oppressing you. Don't bear false witness against them. Don't bear, no. But your own people, you can talk trash about ourselves. They don't have problem with that. But when you begin to speak the truth about them, they say you are bearing false witness. They come against you. They come against you. Today they call it what is the new term? They begin to make hate speech. When you bear the truth, they say it's a hate speech. They come against you. We must break this commandment and begin to bear witness. Yes, even the first one, we must, because that's how they use false witness to make us to abandon our ancestors. They say our ancestors were worshiping idols. That's false witness. They say our ancestors were enslaving themselves before they came. That's false witness. They say our ancestors were killing twins. That's false witness. They use false witness to enslave us. So we must use it also to enslave ourselves, defeat them too. False witness. Some of them call it propaganda. False witness. Some of them call it conspiracy theory. False witness. They use it to get whatever. Donald Trump used false witness to get followers. People following him all over the world. Although he's lying to them, yet they follow him because he knows how to use false witness to get what he wants. He tell them, CNN is fake news. Everybody, fake news, fake news. But he's the one that is fake and talking fake. Understand how the system of this world is. If you can say it's gone out. Yeah, it's gone out. You will get followers too. That's how it works. Then if people that operate in law, then make sure you have lawyers too that will be defending you in the court, as Trump is doing. The last commandment of God I want to talk about, we must break, the 11th one. You shall not covet. Nonsense. Covet what? They coveted after our ancestors, after what we had. They came. They pretended to be students. They pretended to be hungry people. And we welcomed them, start teaching them, start feeding them. Then they turn around, invaded us, killed us, raped us, kidnapped us, enslaved us, and colonized us. They coveted us so much that they share us as cake. They have their part. They divided us. We used to be family. They divided us. Today, people from Zambia, we say, are not from Namibia. The same area. People from Ghana, we say, are not from Nigeria. The same area. They shared us. Some of us under Britain. Some of us under France. Some of us under Germany. Some of us under America. They share us like their national cake. And they tell you, you shall not covet. We must break all the commandments of God they gave to us. Whether they call it politics, whether they call it religion, we must break all the commandments of God they force on us so that we can be free as a people. It is like prison break. We need to break free from them. You have to live to live. You have to L-E-A-V-E, to live, L-I-V-A. You have to live to live. But you want to remain in that cell, you want to remain in that prison. Your chain will be there forever. The key, the lock will be on that gate forever. But it's time for you to break the doors. Lift up those gates. You know how they put it in Psalm 24. Lift up your gates. You lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be you lifted up, ye everlasting doors. Yeah, we are coming out. We are breaking the gates, all those everlasting gates, everlasting chains they put to keep us in bondage. We got to break all of them. The commandments of God, they are the chains, they are the gates that are keeping us in this plantation, in this slavery, in this prison. It is time as a people we rise up and break all of them. Call them